There is growing condemnation and renewed talk around protection for politicians. This after an aggressive attack on Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland.
Chrystia, yes. What are you doing in Alberta? Traitors.
Now, this is the video of the incident and the tirade that has been causing a major stir on social media. Freeland was in Grand Prairie, Alberta on Friday when she was confronted by these people, including the man you see shouting those profanities. She acknowledged the incident in a tweet on Saturday, saying the Alberta I know is filled with kind and welcoming people, and one unpleasant incident doesn't change that. CBC's Hilary Johnstone is in Ottawa with more on this. Hilary, both sides of the aisle for political parties are coming out and coming down hard on this incident. Take us through some of the reaction.
That's right, they are. And yes, as the Deputy Prime Minister said, maybe it was one unpleasant incident, but what we're hearing from politicians on all sides, like you say, Hannah, is that this is not acceptable. So we've heard that from the Alberta Premier, Jason Kenney. We've heard it from former Liberal cabinet ministers, such as Catherine McKenna, who has also experienced this sort of intimidation in the past. We're also hearing from the Prime Minister as well with his reaction. Here's what he said.
Threats, violence, intimidation of any kind are always unacceptable. And this kind of cowardly behavior threatens and undermines our democracy and our values of openness and respect upon which Canada was built.
So the Prime Minister there with his reaction. Now, we've also heard from a number of the Conservative leadership candidates as well, including Jean Charest, who said that it was dangerous behavior. We've heard from Pierre Poilievre as well, who said that he himself has experienced intimidation, and he gave his reaction, and here's what he said.
This is all too common and all too long-standing. We have to put an end to it and demand that everybody treat other Canadians with respect when we debate political ideas.
So reaction really pouring in, Hannah, in the couple of days since that incident happened on Friday.
And Hilary, there's a renewed discussion about security for ministers. What can you tell us about that?
Renewed discussion amid concerns that we might see this again. We might see more of this sort of behavior. So what we're hearing from various security experts is that, typically ministers don't have security. The security is for the Prime Minister unless there is some sort of specific threat, and that there's a resource issue here as well. So here's a little bit of what we've heard.
Ministers, other members of cabinets or other politicians may at times be protected depending on whether there is a threat assessment that suggests that there is an imminent risk, imminent harm. The challenge, of course, is that resources here are limited. Bringing in additional resources, these resources need to come from somewhere, and the RCMP is already short-staffed.
And Hannah, the other thing that we've heard from different experts over the past couple of days as they've been watching this and reacting to it is that they worry that there's a bit of a rage machine operating right now in the country. People who are upset for various reasons, and that this is how they react, that this is how they behave. Experts say that they are concerned that this sort of behavior is something that we are going to see continue, not just these isolated incidents, but a trend of seeing this sort of thing. Part of the reason why we are now having these discussions about possible increased security. Freeland's team is not discussing that, and at this point, the RCMP in Alberta have not said whether they are investigating.
Okay, Hilary, thank you for the latest.
Thank you.